Tominaga return, of course, was a part of this week. So plenty still to talk about here as we get through it. We'll start with the NBA final. Rico, a lot of people, I would say this. I wouldn't say a lot of people predicting a sweep, but after last night, a lot of people predicting a sweep. Is that, to you, overreaction? I think the Nuggets are the favorites going into this series. So if anybody's leaning one way or the other, a lot of people were leaning with the Nuggets. And then with the way that the Heat just could not hit open shots and couldn't get anything going last night. It was one of those blowout games that we see in the modern era of college of NBA basketball, where if one team just can't hit threes, it's that make or miss league, and so it became a complete blowout. Do you feel like this is a mismatch, or do you think that was just a bad shooting night for the Heat?
I want to say that it was just a bad shooting night. With the way that the Heat have been playing and the way that Jimmy Butler has willed this team to as far as they've gone, there's no way they get swept. Not in my mind. So I still think that the Denver Nuggets win it. I want to say that Miami figures out a way to win at least one back in Miami. I don't see them winning back in Denver, although their best chance would be this second game because now they've spent some more time up in the altitude. They're getting more adjusted to it. So I would think that this second game would probably be their best shot at getting a victory on the road in Denver, and that they get one down on Miami at some point. But I still have Denver winning. I don't think it goes 7. I would say Denver in 6, but more than likely Denver in 5, just because of the way that Nikola Jokic is able to just dissect defenses with his basketball IQ, with his eyes, with his passes, and the fact that Denver was up by, I want to say it was like 8 after the first quarter, and Nikola Jokic didn't take a single shot until, a couple of seconds left in the first quarter. So he was just getting rebounds and dishing out assists, not even attempting a shot until the last few seconds of the first quarter, and they were still up by almost double digits. So when he gets rolling, Jamal Murray gets rolling, it's going to be really hard for Miami to keep, especially if Max Strus and Gabe Vincent are going 0 for whatever in the first half. They've gotten this far because of obviously Jimmy Butler, but because of the extraordinary play from their role players, or as Jimmy Butler says, teammates, that have been able to step in and give them outstanding shooting, outstanding scoring. And there is a chance that they get Tyler Hero back at some point during the season, or during this finals run.
Yeah, I think it is. It was one of those things where they had a lot of open threes. They just couldn't knock them down. Those shots have been going through throughout this run, and it's I think the Heat are a good team, a little bit banged up throughout the season, but obviously as the 8th seed, I mean they're just kind of a hard read to see where they are. Is this a big surprise run, or they were the number 1 seed in the East last year, so it's kind of one of those kind of up and down type.
It's pretty much the same team, right?
With the same team. So it's just it's hard to. So but they have all those undrafted players, so they can really fit into that mold of the underdog role. I will say this about Jimmy Butler, and what a fun run it's been. But I continue to kind of think this. He, of all the stars, and then we elevate to superstars or whatever you want to call them. He gets the least amount of criticism for scoring 13 points. And that's what happened again last night.
It's because, and this is no slight on Jimmy Butler. He is a star player. He is. He's one of the people, when you think of the NBA, people put him in that upper echelon of star player. I wouldn't consider him a superstar, but he is a star player that it's like a very spotty. It's like you said, he'll score 13 one night, he'll score 30 another night, he'll get a triple double the night after, and then the next night he'll score 10 with like 2 assists and just play okay defense. And nobody says, "Oh, Jimmy Butler didn't do it," because what you see is, Jimmy Butler was smiling at the end of the game. Jimmy Butler was laughing at the end of the game. Oh, they're going to come back and get him. He's got that dog in him. And I'm like, he scored 13 points, dude. Yeah. Like, what?
But he's not, it's weird because he's not expected, I guess, necessarily to score 30.
He's not a scorer.
Right.
Like, when
it's
you look
pure
at
score.
But
if he gets going, he is.
In Chicago, he was a role player. When he went to
and started off when his star started rising, he was one of the best defensive players.
Exactly, he was a two-way guy. Yeah. He was playing defense, and he was hitting layups, hitting mid-range shots, and still not that great of a 3-point shooter. Obviously, you still have to respect it, but he's not, a knockdown 3-point, like we cannot leave him open kind of guy, like, face guard him every night kind of 3-point shooter. So he went to Minnesota, and I think I want to say the Minnesota practice, the stories from that practice are when the star of Jimmy Butler started rising. He took the third team players and beat the starters, and he gets traded from Minnesota to Philadelphia, helps Philadelphia to getting into the playoffs, and I don't remember how high of a seed they were or how far they went into the playoffs, but it was Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, and the Sixers chose Tobias Harris, and now Jimmy Butler's made it to the finals twice with the Miami Heat, while Tobias Harris and the 76ers, and it's kind of unfair to Tobias Harris to just throw him in there like that, but that's what the Sixers decided to do, and they haven't made it to the finals at all with him, with Joel Embiid, now with James Harden. So it's like he's a very weird star where he's going to get very little criticism, but everybody just loves. And it's not like it's not antics, because he's not out there causing problems or being, up in people's faces. He's just a hard-nosed basketball player. The story of him getting, kicked out of the house by his mother and, going through all this stuff, going to Marquette, fighting his way to making it to the NBA and fighting his way to get to where he is now leading the Miami Heat. Everybody loves that story. And then you just kind of forget when he has a bad game that, oh, this is the best player on this team. And he only scored 13.
Yeah. And a reminder too, I always like to remind people this, not a big fan of Fred Hoiberg. He played with them under the Bulls. He felt like the Bulls chose Hoiberg over him, and then quickly thereafter gave up on Hoiberg because the season
like,
tough.
Let's not.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Also in NBA news, the Suns set to hire Frank Vogel as the new coach on a 5-year, $31 million deal. A lot less money than Monty Williams, their coach before, has now went on and got another job in the NBA. Frank Vogel.
Monty got paid.
Monty
didn't just get a job in the end. Monty got paid.
Which is weird because, he's part of the cycle of like, you didn't quite win a championship, fire coach. This whole NBA playoffs, because there's not an overwhelming dominant super team, people like every team feels like, oh, this is our chance then. And if we don't get it done, there's got to be a scapegoat. There's got to be a reason.
It's the weirdest.
It's falling on the coaches. And so Monty Williams gets fired, and I just don't know like where a coach sits in the NBA. And this is, again, it's hard to say this because Monty Williams, how was his tenure in Phoenix? I would say really great, but they ended up firing him. So I don't know.
Was it 2 years ago?
A few years ago, yeah.
It was after the bubble because it was Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee and Phoenix.
I
had a 2-0 lead even.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then this season, I feel like they had a pretty good season. You end up losing to the 1 seed, right? Yeah, they lost to Denver in the right.
They ended up losing.
Yeah, they lost. So you lost to Denver, you lost to probably the eventual champions. You didn't have Kevin Durant for an entire season. He was injured. You lost Chris Paul in the series for multiple games. Monty Williams is a strange one. I feel like you said, they needed a scapegoat because there is no super team. But I think another year of Monty would have been beneficial for Phoenix, just because, and if they do end up trading Chris Paul, even if they kept Monty, I still think it would have worked because you would have Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and a hopefully healthy Kevin Durant all season. And I think that team would be able to do something, but I mean, we'll see where that team goes from here. But yeah, you got Budenholzer out in Milwaukee 2 years after winning a championship and being the 1 seed and getting beat by a team that now made the finals. An 8 seed that isn't really an 8 seed. You had, who else got
Doc
fired?
Rivers.
Rivers got fired. That one. Doc Rivers is a weird case to me because he is a good coach.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of his not coaching prowess, a lot of his hype and the likes are from the one championship that he won with a super team in Boston.
Well, to be fair too, he's had other teams there, and that's almost held against him. He's just a guy that at this point he's just lost a lot of series where he had leads. He's lost a lot of series where he lost a lot of game sevens, and so it's just like. But I mean, with the whole idea, like I just don't know. And this is not against Frank Vogel. He won a championship with the Lakers in the bubble. So you got to give him a little bit of credit. Of course, they eventually didn't. They fired him.
Did he get fired the year after?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The NBA coaching realm is so weird that for the Pistons to put $78 million on Monty Williams, and I'm sorry, Pistons, that's not what's missing. That's not the missing ingredient.
Look, I love Monty, and I think he's an amazing coach.
Yeah, he's a good coach.
Detroit's just not a good team.
Yeah.
Like me and Austin went through their roster the other day, and their 4 best players are 2 point guards. One of them is coming into is off of his rookie year in Jaden Ivey, and 2 centers. One of them a former number 1 overall pick in James Wiseman, who got traded from that team to Detroit, and the center that they traded New York for, Jalen Duren.
Yeah, that's right.
Those are probably your 4 best players.
Hey, Bojan Bogdanovic is your best player, but he's like 34.
Yeah, and he's probably gonna be a trade piece. Like if you want to get,
that was a weird signing.
You want to get younger or something. He's probably gonna be a trade piece if he plays up to that early in the season. So Detroit's just not a really good team, and you can see Monty is players love him. He's a players coach. He's a great X's and O's coach. Loves him? Watch it.
Players coach? Oh,
watch
okay.
it.
Sorry.
Well, DeAndre Ayton's going to get traded anyway, so who cares? No, I like Monty. I just don't think that $78 million to Monty in Detroit is going to fix things.
No.
Like I don't see him leading Detroit to the finals, but if he can leave Detroit in a, in the play-in or like a spot or 2 above the play-in for playoffs, if he leaves them with that, I think that he did an amazing job coaching.
Yeah.
But that's going to be hard for a team that keeps competing for number 1 overall picks year after year.
Well, eventually one of those guys has got to take off, right? Maybe Cade Cunningham.
Hey, trust the process.
I don't know. It's strange.
Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, and James Wiseman are probably your 4 best players.
Maybe one of them becomes that
guy.
We'll see.
What's that? Two guys coming off of rookie deals, a guy who was injured most of his rookie season and this season, really. Right? Yeah, Cade Cunningham.
Yeah. He only played 12 games.
And then James Wiseman.
Yeah. Who the Warriors just gave up.
You have two number 1 overall picks on your team.
Maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't know. It's just the NBA coaching realm is just so strange. It's just so weird. The Suns, the contenders, think, we just need, maybe it's just a new voice in the locker room, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's the idea behind it all. I mean, all these guys can coach at a pretty high level. Maybe you just need a different message, and that's why they the scapegoats are the coaches. But to see them land like they do, again, I just, maybe you needed a fresh coat of paint. Mm-hmm. But is Frank Vogel better than Monty Williams? I don't know.
No,
I'm not sure.
I would say no.
I would say no too.
Is Nick Nurse better than Doc Rivers?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! How dare you?
That one I might lean into a little.
You
bit.
Can't do that. That's your guy, right?
I love Doc Rivers, but truth be told, too, with Doc Rivers was in Boston. I felt, especially in the regular season at times, didn't get the most out of it. I mean, they had the big 3. They got 1 championship, kind of turned into the big 4 with Rondo there for all-star games. So, all right, let's take a break here on the Ticket Water Cooler. We'll talk some more sports coming up next. We've got actually Carter Nelson visiting Georgia this weekend.
Do you know who else is there?
Oh, who else is there?
Dylan
is also there.
So, yeah, that's a thing that's happening.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll talk a little bit of that. Also, Athlon picking Nebraska 5th in the Big Ten West.
Do you want to talk about the cowards in the SEC?
And the cowards in the SEC who only play 8 conference games. We'll talk about all that coming up next year on Ticket Water Cooler 93.7.
All hits radio request line. What would you like to hear?
Trucks and Bucks.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
You know, the one about the 8 trucks. Sure, it's the biggest hit in Nebraska.
How does it go?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery. You could win one of 8 new trucks.
Are you talking about the Nebraska Lottery Stock Scratch game?
Yes.
You mean you want us to play the commercial?
Please.
You got it.
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
Hello, Talking Deer here. Take this time to thank the lottery. Since 1993, Nebraska Lottery proceeds over $900 million bucks have gone to its beneficiary, including the environment. And since I'm out here in the field every day, I see it firsthand, or first hoof, I guess.
Who are you talking to, dear?
Oh, I was just thanking the Nebraska Lottery and all the people who play for supporting the Nebraska environment.
That's nice, dear.
The Nebraska Lottery, 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we are celebrating a record sales month in April, and we're going to let it roll and crank up May. We have some big discounts and special interest rates going on this month on selected new in-stock Sierras and Silverados. Buy a new Silverado or Sierra, get $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. You heard right. $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. Outstanding special on all of our new and pre-owned GM certified units. So stop on in and see us or check us out online at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did. New deal, must trade in and finance with Roof Credit.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
There's never been a better time to earn more on your checking account. Open a free Kasasa Cash checking account with Liberty First Credit Union and earn up to 5.5% APY for up to $40,000. It's simple. Open your Kasasa Cash checking account online or stop into any of the 4 Lincoln locations or Seward and Omaha branches. Liberty First makes switching easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice. I help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Hi, I'm Barb Bettine, President and CEO of the Lincoln YMCA. On behalf of the Y, I want to thank you for voting us Lincoln's Choice for Best Youth Sports Programs, Best Youth Activity Programs, and Best Preschool. These categories represent so much of what we do at the Y, and we're honored to serve thousands of families in our community each and every day. Hey, with summer just around the corner, I invite you to stop in to one of our 4 branches and learn how the Y can be a part of your family. The Y Outdoor Pools open May 27th, and we can't wait to see you.
Allo is here to give you the FYI. Are your shows buffering? We know why. Are your games lagging? Don't deny. Are your work calls dropping? Here's the FYI. Your old school internet company can't keep up. They give it a try. Their network isn't enough. Don't get trapped in their gimmicks and lies. It's time to fiber your internet with Allo. Honest, local, and hassle-free is what we stand by. Experience Allo Internet. Visit allofiber.com/FYI.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
93.7 The Hit, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and plumbing.
Showers and thunderstorms will be a possibility today. Otherwise, it will be another warm one with a high of 87, south winds at 15 to 25. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, low down to around 64. Another chance of scattered showers and storms tomorrow, warm yet again with a high of 88. Meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I really like this one.
Yeah, it's a good rejoin.
Hey.
This is the Ticket Water Cooler. We're here on your bonus Ticket Water Cooler here on a Friday. As I mentioned, going out of the break, Carter Nelson on his way down to Georgia. He's got a commit, or not a commit, hopefully not a commit.
Whoa, Bach,
visit, an official visit is what I meant to say. Or maybe I'll go say and commit later this month to Nebraska when he comes to the 23rd. No, he's got an official visit lined up with Georgia for the next couple of days, and then a official visit coming with Nebraska here around the 23rd, which is when they're stacking a lot of guys.
Get that last visit in.
Yeah,
that's what you want. You want to be the last team because it's the lasting impression for a lot of these players, a lot of these recruits. So
Georgia's interesting though because they already have 2 tight ends in the class. Not that it's not like quarterback where
you're not going to say no to the number 2 overall tight end.
Yeah,
in the class. I think you're going to say no to that because the number 1 guy, is he going to Georgia?
Yes.
Yeah. He getting 1 and 2. I don't see any problem with that.
Well, when you
except for the fact that he wouldn't be at Nebraska.
Well, you have Brock Bowers.
For 1 more year,
might be the best tight end ever by the time his career is done. At least I won't say best, but most accomplished. So we'll kind of see it. It's fascinating. Carter Nelson among the states, of course. Nebraska themselves, they have Caleb Pyfrom coming in from Omaha for this weekend, along with a couple other guys, including Marquise Buford's younger brother, Mario Buford. So it's a good group. They've got about 9 guys in on campus today, and I know there's still going to be a lot of interest in the in-state kids. Can you get the in-state kids? How much do you blame the new staff for not being able to get them when they're inheriting a program that's about as bad a position as it's been, since the 50s? Lot to kind of break through, kind of go through there with your own head. But I think Daniel Kaelin, just getting the quarterback certainly helps alleviate a lot of those problems. But still, there's some good talent in Nebraska. Carter Nelson certainly is risen to kind of that next level of, he's can go literally anywhere.
Was he a top 100 easily? What is he? Top 50? Somewhere in there.
Yeah, it depends on the website.
Yeah,
obviously,
he's easy in there.
Yeah, they moved him up from he had a big jump in 24/7, I believe it was. Or maybe it wasn't. Yeah, because I think he went from 115 or something to 40th now.
Yeah,
is where he's rated.
Which is just ridiculous. That's just not in a bad way ridiculous. That's just ridiculous to go from there all the way up to top 40, and you're playing 8-man football in the state of Nebraska. I don't know who the highest rated player coming out of the state of Nebraska ever was, but he's got to be up there being a top 40 player in the entire country. The number 2 tight end in the entire country is just crazy. It's ridiculous to see that. And like you said, the state of Nebraska is starting to pump out some pretty high quality, or at least highly ranked players. We won't know about the quality of them until they actually get somewhere and perform. But in terms of rankings and in terms of teams outside of the state of Nebraska taking interest, and maybe even outside of the 500-mile radius taking interest, the state of Nebraska is attracting, Alabama's, Georgia's, Clemson's, USC's, and that's, even if Nebraska doesn't end up getting these players, this is great for the state, for these high schools to be attracting these high-level colleges to their doors and bring them in, because not only are they going to see the guys that they're obviously there to see, but they're going to start seeing some of the younger guys. And you see those guys, they're going to start working harder to get up to the same level as their classmates or their former classmates. And that's just going to raise the level of football in the state of Nebraska. And if the university also raises their caliber of football and raises their level, then that's just going to help them to secure their borders and keep the in-state kids in state who are wanted by teams like Georgia, Alabama, Florida, USC, UCLA, schools like that. So it hurts to lose them, but it's great to see the schools in the state looking at them.
Yeah, I mean, Nebraska football just needs to get back to, the level to where they're the obvious choice. I think there is a nice portion of the Nebraska crowd that remembers that was the case, and it was very shocking to see somebody that was very prolific go somewhere else. But you have to remember. That's a lot easier when Nebraska is a top 25 program, much less. I mean, there's not a whole lot of gap. I mean, there's the Pelini years, but there's not a whole lot of time between like top 5 program and definitely not a top 5 program, like not top 25.
It's only been 22 years.
Right. It's been a while. By the way, Carter Nelson, the second ranked tight end on 24/7. Again, it just depends on the website you go to.
Yeah.
Georgia's other commit, Jaden Riddell, was ranked 4th according to 24/7. Still a top 55 type of kid. He's number 54. They have Landon Thomas, number 1, who is committed to Florida State. So depending on which website, Carter Nelson still could be the number 1 tight end for that Georgia class.
Interesting.
Also, keep in mind, Nebraska already has a tight end in the class in Ian Flint.
Oh, yeah, out of Texas.
Yeah, so they at least are
sisters to throw her on the track team here at Nebraska.
Is that right?
Yeah. Speaking of the track team, the men's team is right now projected points. If everything holds the same, if all the marks and all the times hold the same, Nebraska men's track is projected to get 4th at nationals.
Oh, that's a pretty good
And
deal.
there are 20 athletes from the Nebraska track and field team, men's and women's, headed to nationals, which I don't remember where. Oh, it's down in Texas. It's down in Austin at the University of Texas. That's where nationals is this year. 20 Huskers headed down there to compete in nationals, and very exciting stuff. There's a couple people who are projected to be All-Americans. We'll see if those marks hold, if they can improve them, or if they can hold their status, hold their mark, and not have too many people below them improve their marks and pass them up. Should have a decent haul of All-Americans coming back to Nebraska.
Yeah, that's never a bad thing to hear. Track and field, typically a pretty good program they have there at Nebraska, right?
Oh yeah, both men's and women's are top 10 this season. Finished in the top 25 indoor rankings. So St. Clair doing a fantastic job coaching these young men and young women up.
Absolutely. All right, let's take one more break here on the Ticket Water Cooler. We have a happy hour coming up next. So as usual, we'll bring in Nick Sainert of Happy Hour to come in and finish the thing out. We got lots of sports to still talk. We'll do that coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar certified pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or you are letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. For sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Join us on Tuesday, June 6th at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 40th and Old Cheney for Customer Appreciation Day. Enjoy 59-cent wings all day and your favorite sports talk show host on the air from 10 a.m. a.m. to 6 p.m. Come hang out with us for Customer Appreciation Day on Tuesday, June 6th at the 40th and Old Cheney Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. Now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which could $28.27 per hour in 3 years. Straight positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals, plus porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Celebrate the start of June in style with 2 great drinking events in Lincoln. First, this Friday, come down to Beer House's grand opening as they show off their expansion to double the size of their building. The party starts at 3 p.m. with live pulp music starting at 7. And on Saturday, make plans to head on over to Sideshow Spirits and Cider for the first annual Nebraska Whiskey Carnival. Enjoy local Nebraska distilleries and their spirits, food vendors, and more. Event starts at 3 p.m. Buy your tickets ahead of time at sideshowspirits.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empirefence.com. The upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kid pets in or out of your yard, increase security, and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Old School with DP and J.
Remember, we still got to factor in the offensive line, the receivers
I'm
we
not
don't know
factoring
about.
that. I'm looking at individual here. Chuba has not done anything to date here.
He's been a starter here.
Oh, yeah.
He's been a starter.
Okay. And
That's one more. He didn't look. Chuba ain't the reason why.
I'm not saying you get fired, but
Yeah.
he didn't do anything. He didn't stop me from bringing in Jeff Sims.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to the Ticket One on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the Ticket Water Cooler for one final segment of the week, and it's time for the crossover. We're bringing Nick Sainert of the Happy Hour to jump in and join us, and it is still, they had the press conference today. It is still the week of Keisei Tamanaga, his return to Nebraska. One thing that stood up to me about the press conference was kind of funny. Coach Hoiberg said he loves Tamanaga's energy, and even included that he liked that he flipped off the opposing crowd last year. So if you're kind of thinking, I always kind of look at that sort of thing and think, maybe you hope the coaches don't say that. Maybe Hoiberg is likes that sort of. He likes the heel.
It's a great
to be the heel on the road.
It's a great picture.
So what we gathered today is Fred Hoiberg is pro flipping off.
That's right.
Hoiberg is
not
pro.
really, but
Hoiberg is pro celebration.
So
pro bat flip.
Yeah, well, did you guys see what his translation of his tweet is?
Mm-mm.
So he texted Keisei when he made the decision, and he was like, "How do you write LFG?
Yeah,
let's bleep and go in Japanese." And Keisei sent him back a translation, and he just posted it. And today he goes, Casey, was that like exactly word for word? And Casey just goes, not exactly. And that was it. And so we're still,
I keep hitting it because it won't let you translate.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out what it actually specifically
Can you
meant,
copy it and post it on Google and see if it says it?
Well, see, Google Translate is
terrible.
not accurate.
Google Translate is terrible.
Even like when people will try to like use Google Translate to just have Spanish, and it's inaccurate. So I would be cautious of folks trying to translate Japanese on Google and thinking that it means it exactly and perfectly. So.
You know what's really fun to do is go to Google Translate and type in just a regular phrase, have it translate to a different language, then take that and have it translate from that language back to English and see what it says.
And it's different
because it's not the same.
Be interesting.
It is never the same.
Yeah.
So
language is difficult. Did you guys do well in Spanish, whatever language you took?
I enjoyed.
Not too
I had a
bad.
good time. I took so we actually had Spanish in 8th grade. So I started Spanish in 8th grade. So I took a total of 5 years of Spanish. So I enjoyed in foreign.
How much Spanish can you speak now?
I can
still got a little bit of it.
Conversation.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I can have basic.
If you don't use it, you lose it. That is true. I know.
Well, so I'm going to Mexico in January, and I always wonder whether or not, like when I went to well, dang it, when I went to Europe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rico.
He went to Europe. He's going to Mexico. He's a world traveler.
No, I would not say that. But
how many times have you used your passport?
He's basically Magellan.
Well, it's been stamped 4 times.
I don't even have one.
Well, that's not my fault, Rico.
No, it's okay.
You
No, it's
are
fine.
free to roam the world, Rico.
Nick,
you know what I realized?
You went to Europe in high school.
You know what I realized?
And it wasn't with your family.
I should have. I need to stop letting you make those comments that bother me, because you have the free reign to
anybody
go
can
be
travel
a
where
world
you want.
traveler.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
you can go get a passport. I should not feel guilty.
I can get a passport. That's true.
I should not feel guilty about going,
Nick,
when you have the ability to go.
Nick.
Yes.
You want to pay for my Europe trip?
I don't. I didn't even want to pay for my Europe trip. But anyway,
you think people are going to accept a car wash from me to go to help me pay for my Europe trip?
Like, that's an old guy trying to fund a Europe trip.
Let's start a lemonade stand.
But no, back to the language.
Show pictures of your feet. You can do that.
We've gone too far.
Oh, okay.
I never know if it's like disrespectful to try and attempt to speak their language, because I can see it both ways. Because like for them, it'd be like, not this guy again, like not these people, these people that try to.
I don't think
speak
it's disrespectful.
or is it respectful? Because it's like, hey, they're making an effort.
I would say that it's
to communicate with us.
I would say it's respectful as long as you're not like, if you're not one of those jerks that's like making a mockery of it and just trying to like be funny about it. Like if you're actually trying, I think I think they know the difference.
It was tough. I can't remember where we were, but merci is thank you. And so
you were in France.
Yeah. And so it was like,
he knows Europe better than you do.
Yeah.
And you've been there.
Been there?
Yeah, you dummy.
So like that was one of the few words, because like we would get off the tour bus and they'd be like, all right, here's the basic language that you need to know. And merci was one of them. And so like you just went in there and you were like, you like point, and then they get you and you're like, merci. But it's just tough because like, you're going to the Philippines though, Buck.
Yeah, I'm going to the Philippines in July.
That's
That'll
sweet.
be exciting. Yeah, my wife's from the Philippines, so
that's awesome.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
It's my first trip over into a different country, I suppose, other than Mexico.
I was asking Bach about the flight plans.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Doesn't sound great.
It's gonna be 22 hours total until I get there.
Yeah, I can't remember. The one I took over to Paris was.
Jay went to Europe.
The one I took over there was an overnight one, but I was sitting in
red eye.
So yeah, red eye. So in those planes, obviously, it's like you have 3 seats, 3 in the middle, and then 3 on the sides as well. So it's just 9 seats in a row because they're the bigger planes. And I was in the middle row or middle aisle, middle seats, in between 2 guys
sleeping
that did not speak any English.
Oh,
and so I could not communicate with anybody at all. And it was second ever plane ride going over there.
Oh yeah, perfect.
So because I went from Omaha to Atlanta, and that one was like, oh, this is sweet, man. This is cool.
Yeah.
I'm up on the plane. And then second one was I was sitting by nobody I knew, and couldn't communicate.
That's weird. If
couldn't
you're
say
going
hi.
with the high school group, they just had you go in different parts
it
of
was
the
all,
plane.
It was all alphabetical seating.
Huh.
They were like, well, have fun.
Yeah, so I did not get to do it. I did not get to go.
It was a
But
different time, Bach.
Yeah, it was. It was a different time. I've never, like everybody's like, yeah, you just got to get on the plane and pick your seat. Don't know what that's like. So I don't know
either.
Rico, that's not my fault. That's not my fault, Rico. And Thunder Not Collins, I want to make sure this is clear. He goes, is Nick never, I think he means ever not traveling. Here's the deal is I don't really necessarily go many places. I just go to like the lake. Like in 3 weeks, we're going to Calamus, like Calamus Reservoir. Like,
is that in Nebraska?
It's in Nebraska, but it's a lake. Like we're staying at a cabin. Rico,
I didn't say anything.
You got to be you're so judgmental.
I didn't say anything.
Across the way.
Some people like to travel, Rico. It's okay. People travel.
No, that's fine. I'm not judging anybody for
He
traveling.
said, he said, Thunder Not Collins says he knows being an adult costs money, right? I do understand that.
Yeah.
You just graduated.
Yeah, but this is when you should travel. This is when you should take advantage before you have a family and stuff.
I don't have a family.
Yeah, you don't have a family.
I
You
have a
just
family. Just
pay
not
for
like
one ticket.
Yeah, not an immediate family.
Or
Yeah.
2 tickets. And whatever. Have fun.
Yeah. Hey, Ron asks, are you going to smallmouth bass? I mean, yeah, we'll go for anything. I'm going for the river float.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're going to come
Sounds
back
like
all
Wes.
red again, huh?
Yes. Are we going to have to tell him that his face
Yeah,
is
we'll have
peeling?
to tell him this time. He got mad last
I
time.
appreciate
make sure we let him
It'd be
know.
nice to have friends that warn me of things happening
Thought you knew.
that I can't tell. And
We
see.
figured you knew. You
Yeah.
probably felt the burn.
Yeah,
but-
I thought you knew your
Yeah.
face was peeling.
Skaber
Yeah.
makes a great point. Rico is like Howie from Benchwarmers.
What is
Somebody
that?
get a sword.
Scared of the sun.
Yeah. For years, I thought the sun was a monster.
It's not. It's not a monster.
No.
Just gonna
And
eat
no,
sunscreen.
I have actually Thunder Not Collins, not true.
Well, we better wrap it up here for the ticket water cooler. We know SEC scheduling, big topic on happy hour, right?
Cowards.
Yeah.
It's a mess. Greg Sankey not having the best week.
Yeah.
As SEC commissioner.
As long as they can get eight bids into the 12-team playoff, they'll figure out a way. They'll be happy with it. That'll wrap it up for the ticket water cooler happy hour coming up next here on 93.7 The Ticket. Don't go anywhere.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar Certified Pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
League game to the sweet taste of frozen treats. LES powers all of life's special moments for only $2.88 a day. Learn more at les.com/value.
Celebrate the start of June in style with 2 great drinking events in Lincoln. First, this Friday, come down to Beer House's grand opening as they show off their expansion to double the size of their building. The party starts at 3 p.m. with live polka music starting at 7. And on Saturday, plans to head over to Sideshow Spirits and Cider for the first